Okay, so update here on the planting, vertical planting, agriculture, kind of, the business that I had partnered in before. I've been kind of prototyping with some newer stuff, working with microcontrollers and whatnot. So I know I can develop the grow systems, but it's the automation and precision of it that I want to work on now. So I have a bunch of stuff to grow, and I've got my starter beds. I've got some grow lights going, stuff like that. Here I have a planter, and if we follow this line here, there's a small little pump in there that is controlled by this relay that is controlled in part by this microprocessor, which is essentially receiving a signal from this little sensor that I built here. And so eventually, because I know that my fish tanks have calmed down, the ammonia count in them is under control. So this system now will be transferred over this tank, and that light that's above the tank, that is a grow light, but I've updated and I bought some new grow lights. And so I'm going to get that planter started. I'm going to drop that pump down into this tank, and once I have some plants to go into the planter, then I'll replant them in there. In the meantime, though, I'm going to hook that up over the tank as is, just so that I can get the moisture levels out right. Because it's going to take a couple of weeks for the seedlings to take off, which will give me enough time to come into the program here, and you'll see its current reading is right around 3,000. Okay, and so what that's doing is it's measuring the electrical resistance in the soil, right? So there's a lot of higher resistance right now. This will go down to 0, which means the soil is dry, and it can go up to, I don't know, I think like 5,000 or something like that. I think there's a limit somewhere on this, or I don't know, something like that. Anyway, so as you can see here, it looks like everything is working. Now this is kind of a mixed dry, wet kind of thing, but enough moisture, water has made it through. Now the end of my hose is down here. Now this is just some old potting soil from last year. It's been dry, crumbly dry for the year, so it's going to be soaking up a lot of this moisture. But I let it trickle out there and then work the moisture back to the sensor here in this corner, right? So I know that there's a good amount of moisture underneath, which would be like where the root systems are and the tap root, etc., etc. So theoretically, this works. And so now my next thing is to get these wood supplies that I've been hoarding over the winter. I didn't want to build anything over the winter because I have like a tiny ass apartment and no workshop. But I have a bunch of wood and wood scraps and stuff from construction sites. And so I'm going to build a vertical planter and duplicate this process in a high standing planter with multiple vertical tiers going up. And then I have this old lamp here. Pardon the mess. I've been in my inventing mindset here, so it's horrible. But this now, because I don't need it, I just got another lamp, so I'm gonna tear this down for parts because I could use that light fixture there. But I'm going to turn this into another prototype vertical planter for tall plants like tomatoes, beans, peas, or a vining thing like a zucchini or something like that. Because you could even start like the tomatoes and the vining stuff at the top and just let them fall down naturally, but I don't know yet. I may just turn that into a herb thing too, I'm thinking. I don't know yet. Anyway, that's what I got.